Jay Bargi from Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Computer Education and Applied Sciences, and today we are going to discuss diagnosis of coronavirus. Now, instead of making very long video, I have decided to have a 5-part series on the diagnosis. In the first video, we are going to discuss the different options available for the diagnosis. In the second video, we'll detect the detection of RNA by the RT-PCR. In third video, we'll discuss the detection of antibodies. Fourth video, we'll discuss the future testing methods for the coronavirus detection. In the last video, we'll have the Indian approach of the testing against the coronavirus. Now let's see where in the entire cycle of epidemic management the role of testing laboratory is there. First of all, when the health agencies of any nation is trying to manage the epidemic like coronavirus, they want to detect the possible contacts, possible infections from an already existing case. So if a person is detected positive with the coronavirus, the health agencies will like to check that which other contacts of this individual are having disease. This is what we call epidemiological surveillance. So testing comes into the picture when we want to check the possible infections, that is during the epidemiological surveillance. Second, if a person is already having symptoms, is already showing the probable symptoms of the disease, in order to check the active infection during diagnosis, again the laboratory comes into the picture. 3. When the disease is confirmed in any individual, that means a person is having the overt disease, then we want to check at which stage of infection the individual is there. Whether individual is having the primary stage of infection or the advanced stage of infection. So staging. Then we want to see what will be the future outcome of the infection, that is the prognosis part. Third, we would also like to see whether the treatment and other interventions given in the critical care facility are moving in the right direction or not. So in order to have therapeutic monitoring, the testing is again done. Then lastly, when a person recovers from the disease, we would like to see whether the person is truly free of viruses or not. And once been confirmed that the person is free of all the viruses, then we would also like to see whether the person is having active immunity against the virus or not. So whether the person is still immune against the virus or not, that is again the part of epidemiological surveillance. So these are the different stages of disease management where the diagnosis, when it comes to the diagnosis of viruses or any microorganism, there are two different approaches to the diagnosis. On the left, there is what we call the direct approach of diagnosis. In this case, the pathogenic agent, the microorganism, in this case coronavirus itself, is detected. Now usually we don't detect the entire microorganism, we only detect a structural component of that microorganism. In this case, instead of detecting the whole virus, we are only detecting the virus RNA. That is what we call the direct approach. On right hand side, in indirect approach, we are not detecting the pathogen itself. Rather, we are detecting the human body's response against that pathogen. Now, human body responds to the pathogen in a variety of different manner, but usually we detect a specific type of glycoprotein produced to respond the pathogen. Now these glycoprotein are known as antibodies. So detection of antibodies as a part of response against the virus is the indirect approach to detect the disease. Now let's see how human body responds to the presence of virus. As I said, the human body's response to the virus is complex. And in order to simplify it, let's divide it into the two parts. The red color virus here, let's see first the left side, can infect a green colored normal human body cell, which once infected will activate certain kinds of immune cells, here written as BCTL. Those CTL cells will then activate another kind of immune cells which will directly respond to the virus. Because they directly respond to the virus, we call it them effector CTL. Now these cells will kill the infected host cell itself. By killing our own infected cells, we are depriving the virus from the nutrition in the host. Now here, because immune cells are working, we call this cell mediated immunity. Now let's come to the other side of response. See the center of the image. The virus can be engulfed by a specific type of immune cells which will take the virus inside the cell, will process its protein, and then only a small fragment of protein, that is peptide, will be used to activate a kind of immune cells shown here in gray color. That is what we call the T helper cells. Now these T helper cells can either activate the effector CTL cells which we have seen earlier, or they can activate the another subpopulation of helper cell, and thereby ultimately they will activate what we call the B lymphocytes or B cells. Once these B cells are activated, they are transformed into the another kind of cell. Their population is increased, what we call the clonal propagation, and this transformed increased population cells, now what we call plasma cells, will produce the specific. Now these antibodies produced against the virus are not produced right from the first day of virus entry, because as I said, the viruses are to be detected, then the subpopulation of helper cells are to be activated. This in turn will activate B cells, and then the B cells will undergo the growth, and then transformed B cells will produce the antibodies. So it takes 5 days to all this. That is what we call the window period. After the window period, then the antibody production by B cells, plasma cells will start. And there are more than one type of antibody molecules depending upon the protein structure. We call them the classes of antibody molecule. The first class of antibody molecule produced by the effector cells is what we call IgM antibodies, here shown with the bright red color. So this is the first antibody produced. After this antibody is produced, there is a genetic change in the antibody producing cells, what we call the class switching. After that change, instead of IgM, these cells will now produce IgG, another structure, another type of antibodies. This IgG will be then the dominant type of antibodies, and the IgM concentration will decline in the blood, as you can see here, after say 10-14 days, and then the IgG will be the dominant antibodies. So we can either detect IgM or we can detect IgG, but detection of IgM is only possible in the early stage of infection. Detection of IgG is only possible in the later stages of infection, or we can detect both of them, or by direct method we can detect the virus RNA itself. So let's see. Now these antibodies produced against the virus. Now there are 3 analytes which the laboratory can detect. Blue color, that is the virus RNA. Green color, that is the antibody IgM, or the red color, that is the antibody IgG. Now virus RNA can be detected immediately after the infection. Here as you can see, the blue color RNA can be detected is present immediately after the infection. Now after the infection immediately, for few days, there are no symptoms directly into the individual, because the body takes time to respond to the virus, the immune cells are not activated, cytokines are not made, and virus also takes time to increase its population and to damage the host tissues. So there are no symptoms right from the first day. This is what we call the asymptomatic stage. But viruses can still be detected in asymptomatic stage. That's what happened in many cases in Ahmedabad, that people were labeled, termed coronavirus positive even when they were not having symptoms. That is because the RNA was detected. So RNA can be detected even in the asymptomatic stages. After that, the person develops the symptoms of the disease, and once the window period is over, once the B cell population is activated, expanded, transformed to the plasma cells, the first type of antibody, green color here, IgM, is produced. In the later stage of infection, IgM concentration declines and the IgG becomes the predominant antibodies that can be detected. After the person starts removing the virus, clearing the virus from its body, that is the recovery phase of the disease, you can no longer detect the virus RNA. But still, the blood circulation is having antibody against the virus, that is IgG antibody, can still be detected even after the recovery. In convalescence, in recovery, you can direct method of RNA detection, which is done by RT-PCR method, indirect method of antibody detection, that is done by a variety of different techniques. The significance of these two testing, RNA detection, upper here in red color, is detecting the active infection with the SARS coronavirus 2. And therefore, the value is that the treatment procedure, the management of disease is determined for the individual. While the antibody detection is explaining the exposure to the SARS coronavirus and response of human body to it. So it can, yes, also detect the active infection, but also means that the recovered patient, the recovered individuals will also have the antibodies. So it also explains the recovery and the sensitivity against the virus. A person having antibodies no longer sensitive to the virus is immune to the virus. So that is the value of these two types of tests. What are the possible clinical significance of the detection of these three analytes? If you are having positive RT-PCR as in first case, but no antibody, no either IgM nor IgG, that means that we are in still the window phase of infection. The person is coronavirus positive, but will later have the IgM or IgG. Second example, if a person is having RNA and IgM but no IgG, that means the person is still in the early stage of infection. In the later stages, the person will have IgG. Third, if a person is having RNA, IgM and IgG, all the three analytes, this means the person is in the active phase of infection and demands the clinical management. Fourth case, when the person is having RNA, no IgM and IgG is positive, that means the person is in the later stage of infection and soon will be entering into the recovery phase. Now, if a person is been detected with the IgM and RNA and IgG are absent, because there is a detection of IgM, it means there is an early stage of infection. It is not possible to have virus, absence of virus in early stage. So that is something wrong with the RT-PCR. This is false negative RT-PCR with the early stage of infection. Now, if a person is having IgM and IgG both, like the last example, IgM and IgG both, and there is no RNA, then again it is the active stage of infection, but it is not possible to have the active stage of infection without virus. So this is again false negative RT-PCR. Now, if a person, the penultimate example, second from the last, if a person is having only IgG, no IgM and RNA, then it means that person has recovered from the disease and is now immune against the disease. So these are the different clinical significance of detection of different types of analytes in the coronavirus diagnosis. So to summarize, there are two approaches to the coronavirus diagnosis: either direct RNA diagnosis by RT-PCR or the antibody diagnosis by different point of